It was nicknamed Motor City for its once great automobile industry, but it now has more than $18 billion worth of debts. It's seeking protection from creditors, including public sector workers and their pension funds. They've been trying to block the move.
Detroit has been hemorrhaging residents for decades. In the 1950s, the city's population peaked at 1.8 million. It's now around 700,000. Public services are in a state of near collapse, and around 70,000 properties lie abandoned. Much of the middle class and many businesses have left the city, taking with them their tax dollars. The fall of the city's auto industry has also played a large part in the problem.
Since 1950, Detroit's population has declined by more than 60%. Unemployment is rampant, as is violence. But there are those who refuse to give in. In the long term, bankruptcy could allow the city to once again flourish. In the short term, it appears unlikely that any winners will emerge.
When you have a population that's exiting, and you have more people collecting benefits than you do coming back to replenish the system, you know, mathematically it doesn't work.
The exit has left 4 in 10 homes empty. The city turned off half its streetlights and taxes soared, now the highest in the state. But for years, city leaders failed to take on the growing debt, now an estimated $18 billion.
Once it symbolized the strength of the American car industry. Now the state's governor says Detroit simply can't raise enough revenue to meet its obligations. But unions have accused the governor of using bankruptcy to try to seize power.
One of the things that I want to say to our citizens is that as tough as this is, I really didn't want to go in this direction. But now that we are here, we have to make the best of it.
Services will remain open, paychecks will be made, bills will be paid. Nothing changes from the standpoint of the ordinary citizen's perspective.
Detroit expects to be out of bankruptcy in just over a year, but the effects of this will be felt for far longer than that. The city's pension funds have claims on more than $9 billion in pension and health benefits for city workers. It's unlikely any of them will ever get what they were promised.
An emergency manager appointed by the governor to deal with Detroit's long simmering fiscal woes had tried to reach an agreement with the city's creditors, including city pensioners, was unable to do so, and this became inevitable. The biggest bankruptcy filing by a municipality in U.S. history. Detroit, which once had 1.8 million people, now struggles to say above 700,000 people, but still a massive bankruptcy that could have major implications for cities, for organized labor, and for the municipal bond market.
Again, Detroit has about $18 billion in debt. Creditors who have bonds of Detroit could see those paid back at just pennies on the dollar. Also, current city workers and retirees will likely see their pensions and their health care benefits cut as a result. At the same time, the governor pointed out in his letter he hopes that this will give Detroit a fresh start, the ability to build itself back. But again, the city of Detroit filing for Chapter 9 bankruptcy, something many had expected for a while. Others said it would not come to this, but it has. Detroit now in Chapter 9 bankruptcy.